Hello everyone and welcome back to DAWOODSHOW. Today I have Vian Ahmed who is joining me from Duhok, Kurdistan region of Iraq. Vian Ahmed is an Iraqi Kurdish activist, humanitarian leader, women empowerment advocate with 7 years of experience in humanitarian leadership and women empowerment. Currently, she's working as the regional director at the Lotus Flower NGO that empowers women and girls particularly within internally displaced people and refugee communities. Since 2015 to date, she has directly supported thousands of IDPs and refugee women through leading and implementing different projects with national and international NGOs in Iraq. Vian Ahmed, welcome to Dawood Show.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dawood. Thank you very much for having me today. I'm very glad to be with you in this show, and I hope we will have some fruitful discussions around Yazidis, the situation of IDPs, and also my work with these communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Vian. Thank you so much for all the work that you do for IDPs. And I would like to start asking you that who is Vian Ahmed and how you became a humanitarian activist working with IDPs and also refugees in Kurdistan region of Iraq.
Yeah, so I think you have already said so much about me. As you stated, that is how I introduce myself as humanitarian leader and woman empowerment advocate, Kurdish humanitarian leader from Iraqi Kurdistan. I started in the humanitarian leadership and women empowerment back in 2015 with the ISIS attack on Sinjar and Mosul. Since that time to date, I have been leading and managing different humanitarian team members to respond to different crises in the region, starting from 2014 ISIS attack to the late outbreaks of COVID-19. My work was mainly with the refugee and IDP community, as you stated, and also on programs that were aiming at supporting or empowering women and girls. So the first time I became a humanitarian activist was that time when I worked with one of the local organizations back in 2015 to manage a community center in one of the biggest IDP camps in Kurdistan region to provide social, psychosocial, and legal services for women and girls within the Yazidi community.
That's incredible, Vian. So, can you tell us about your experience working with Yazidi women who survived from ISIS captivity?
Yeah, sure. So as I just mentioned that my experience with the Yazidi community in general, especially women, started in March 2015 when I was working with one of the local organizations called Harikar in one of the biggest IDP camps that was just opened for the Yazidi community. The camp is Qadia camp or Rwanga camp. So that time I started to work with the Yazidi community and with these women specifically. So that was the time in 2015 when we were witnessing many women, for the first time, many women being able to rescue from ISIS. And we were having a community center or women empowerment center in that camp. That was, I would say, one of the first and one of the only spaces for women to come to be provided with social, psychosocial, and legal support. I would say that I was very lucky to be selected in that specific position and also in that specific camp, because that camp was a bit special since it had the biggest number of the Yazidi women ISIS survivors. Since the living condition of this camp were a little bit better than other camps. For example, they were caravans instead of tents, and the available organizations providing different kinds of support in that camp that time was a bit better than other camps. And this is why the government will send ISIS survivors or women who were rescued from ISIS immediately to that camp unless they want from their own wish to go to another camp. So that was an opportunity, a great opportunity for me to be very close to many women that time, especially ISIS survivors, to hear about a lot of their stories that were terrible, but at the same time very inspiring. I would really highlight about some things that really inspired me about these women is being very courageous to first be able to flee from this barbaric group, because we won't every one of us know that how ISIS was barbaric and how they were really scary and strong at that moment, at those times. So these strong and courageous women were able to rescue themselves and flee. That was the first thing. It was very, very courageous of them to do so, and also be able to come to the camps and always seek support to be able to heal and rebuild their lives and become and show a great resilience and become source of inspiration for thousands of other women and girls around the world is really, really inspiring. So I had a great experience working with these women, but also the Yazidi community itself, because I have seen, I was there the first days when these women, when some of the first women were able to rescue from ISIS. I've seen how the Yazidi community itself were warmly welcoming these women and girls. I know very well, and you know as well, that in the Middle East, sexually raped women and girls are not nicely treated within their communities or even by their families. But I have witnessed how much the Yazidi community welcomed warmly these women and girls and helped them to reintegrate with the community and supported the process of healing and rebuilding their lives.
Thank you so much, Vian, for showing the truth, for telling the truth to everybody. Those things, they are not really welcomed by the community.
Yeah.
And that was a big transformation in Yazidi community to warmly welcome these women who survived from sexual abuse, from ISIS captivity, and they also treat them like angels within the community. So it was a great transformation in a small community in Middle East.